Hello viewers, today we have a very significant fan acquisition to check out. This is a Duracraft high velocity fan, and this is going to be the letter H's fan. This surfaced on face cluster, market cluster, data stealing, privacy invasion, trash freak show. And it was kind of in Ed's neck of the woods. So Ed went and picked this up for the letter H. And then he gave it to me because I saw him recently. And I'm going to see the letter H soon, so I'll give it to him when I see him. This is... well, there's actually some ambiguity here because the letter H has been looking for a Duracraft high velocity fan for many, many years. And this is not the exact same model that usually shows up. In fact, this one is kind of an oddball. I've never seen this particular version before, and while I certainly haven't seen everything that's out there, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's not often that something surfaces that I haven't even seen as much as a picture of. I have attempted to pick up a Duracraft high velocity fan for the letter H before, and unfortunately it turned into a complete fool's errand. It would have been a great pickup because it was a cluster face listing for 3 high velocity fans, one of which was the Duracraft, one of which was a Cool Breeze, which is very uncommon as well, and the other was a Patent, not uncommon but a great fan. I had driven that estate for that, and the situation was just completely ridiculous. There is a video that underscores that already out there. It is the video of the frigid hassock fan and a Sanyo turbine fan that looks like it was thrown out and resurrected 15 times. Anyways, that aside, now we have this one. And this one is a very, very nice example of a rather unusual model. So a couple things to note about this initially. First off, the logo or the high stop is super cool. I don't know if this is picking up on the video, probably not, but in person it looks three-dimensional. Oh, it is three-dimensional. Duh. Sometimes I really wonder how the heck I get through a day. It is a three-dimensional logo, except for the high velocity fan part. But the Duracraft trademark and the commercial grade are in fact raised, and it has a very cool visual effect to it. And that logo, or that high stop, is in very good condition. So the second thing that I noticed about this is a 4-speed model, which I've never seen before. And interestingly enough, and this is the listing was a freak show too, because the listing pictured 2 Duracraft high velocity fans, one of which was the typical 3-speed model, and one of which was this, which is not typical. So this has an on-off switch, just quite a nice feel to it, and 4 positions. This also has a nice feel to it. Low, medium, high, and super high. Duracraft was notorious for labeling the speeds either low, high, and super, or low, medium, high, and super if it was a 4-speed. So this has super high, which is kind of neat. Going around the back, I was initially disappointed by the cord because it's a very, very thin and kind of flimsy cord. And then my disappointment rapidly turned around when I discovered that the fan appears to be ball bearing, which is very, very interesting. Here's the model number. It is the Duracraft DV-518. I don't know if there's a serial number. Yeah, I do know if there's a serial number. Duh. I don't know if there is a date code encrypted into that serial number, but I would imagine that this probably dates back to the 90s or early 2000s at most. I find the ball bearings extremely interesting because that's not common on older high velocity fans from this era. Interestingly enough, it's becoming fairly common even on relatively inexpensive consumer grade high velocity fans, which is a nice change in pace for the modern fan market. That's certainly a step in the right direction, but it is very, very unusual. In fact, I really can't think of any besides the Air Kings that have ball bearings earlier on in the 90s and the early 2000s. As far as I know it, the Air King was the only one. So I'll go ahead and spin the blade here and you'll be able to see that we have the motor shaft here, and then you're going to see this spin, which is the ball bearing. Now it's not spinning quite as freely as I would expect it to for ball bearings, so we might need to replace the bearings, but one of the nice things about ball bearings is that they are replaceable. So if it does need new bearings, that is not a problem. So I'm very curious to see how this compares to patent high velocity fans, Lakewood high velocity fans, etc. It's a little bit hard to compare it to because I don't know what the exact date of this is, but I'm pretty sure that this would be in the 90s era. So something like a patent U2 1887 would probably be a good comparable unit. I think this is an 18-inch model. Let's see. Yeah, it's about an 18. Now Duracraft, while I don't necessarily associate Duracraft with commercial products, Duracraft, I think, was a very, very good quality, if not premium quality, brand for fans, and arguably one of the last very good quality brands that still functioned in the 2000s. Many Duracraft fans had exceptional warranties. The window fans, many of those came with a 10-year warranty. There were oscillating fans that came with a 20-year warranty, which is pretty outrageous for a basic fan. There are much more expensive, much more complex household appliances that don't even come with a 20-year warranty. I don't know what this would have come with as far as a warranty, but I imagine this was not cheap, and I imagine it probably had a pretty good warranty on it. I have high expectations for this thing. There's a lot of weight here, and the motor is definitely sizable. It's a very thick stator. So I do expect this to be quite strong. Another thing I noticed here, which is a good indicator of better quality build and design, is that these clips here that keep the guards together are rubber coated, so we shouldn't have a lot of vibration issues here. Here's a look at the motor. It's quite sizable, very thick stator. Actually, it's really quite a large motor. And the windings look pretty nice in there. Very thick gauge. Let me turn this around so we can get a good picture of it. Very thick gauge windings. Important for cooler operation. Looks to be tied up nicely in there. And this appears to be very low hours. There's no dust accumulated in there. The blade is properly designed. It's got a probably steel spider in the center, and it even has balancing clips to balance it out. I don't see any balancing clips on here, so hopefully the blade's in balance. But if it's not, we can add some balancing the clips. The blade pitch is definitely quite steep. I'm not sure if it's quite as steep as the Hampton Bay, but it's definitely pretty substantial, and without a side-by-side comparison, I think that's a little bit better than some of the patents. The only thing I don't like about this so far is the stand's range is limited. It won't go down any further than that, which is kind of annoying because these are nice to dry floors, and this is not really going to do that too well. And it won't go past here unless you really kind of force it. I don't know what the point of having the restriction is. I guess it's because of the way this is designed, but then you could have just put a longer cord on it. But other than that, this seems like a very good build. The stand is made of particularly thick tubing, thicker than average. It's definitely very top heavy to the front. It tips over quite easily. But it's pretty solid on the back, so it shouldn't be tipping over from the airflow, of which there's probably plenty. And one more thing I'm noticing here, which is a bit out of the ordinary for this type of fan, before we get started with the performance, is there's a clip on the inside of the shaft there, or the outside of the shaft, keeping the blade on. You just don't usually see that on these high velocity fans. So there's some dust on the blades. It's been used, but not substantially. And I find that tends to be the case with these high velocity style fans. It seems like they are either used in a commercial environment and they end up just getting filthy and ran to the point of failure, or not used at all. It's really not hard to come across a high velocity fan from the 80s or 90s that doesn't look like it's ever been used. And I'm guessing that a lot of those cases are people buying it for a residential use case without realizing that it's really too powerful unless you have a really large space, and then it just never sees much use. So this is rated for 2.3 the amps, and I imagine this is PSC. The capacitor is probably inside this this switch housing here. Now I wonder if there is a thermostat control model available, because there are openings here on the side of this. There's vents on here, and there's no reason for that if it's just a switch in there. The only reason I could think of to have that is if there was a thermostat in there. So potentially there's another version of this which has a thermostat. I don't know, that's purely speculation, but that seems to be a possibility. So we're going to switch it over to the low. Shut this on. And we're going to be testing at 119.5 the volts. And I'll put the microphone behind it in case it has the startup sounds. And here we go. We'll begin on the... This is like the vein of my existence. We'll begin on the low. Somebody please invent a legless tripod. Oh boy. Well, it's definitely ball bearing. That is the sound of worn ball bearings. And I can see why the ball bearings have worn out, because this is horrifically out of balance. But again, fortunately, because it's ball bearing, this is fixable. We will be able to change the bearings in this motor and get this to be completely silent once again. It's really hard to judge the noise level of what it should be without all that noise from the bearings, but I tend to think that the fan would be pretty quiet in terms of air noise if it wasn't for all that grinding and scraping sounds. That's not very slow. It's pushing quite a bit of air already. It's already 224 the watts and 2.17 the amps, which is a little concerning because that's almost full power. Now, this is going to need some work, but it's nothing that can't be repaired. This is 100% repairable. Both this obnoxious balance issue and the sound of the bearings. The medium. Well, that's disappointing. There's hardly any variance to the speeds. No, there's some. Oh, wow. That's strong. That's 2.17 amps, 248 watts. Wow. Something just fell somewhere. That is crazy. Wow. Airflow tester down here. Here's the formula for calculating the CFM. That is nuts. I think that this might hold a candle to that Hampton Bay. This is very, very strong. I think this is above average for high velocity fans. That is pushing a tremendous force. Wow. What's the power factor? 96, so it is PSC. The vibration though is really, really bad. Yeah, that's quite an extreme case of spoiled ball bearings. But since they are ball bearings, we can replace them and restore the bearing operation, and then we'll add some balancing clips to fix the balance issue. Well, okay, so that's very strong. And I think what's interesting about this saying commercial grade is that it kind of is. It has the ball bearings, which puts it a notch above a lot of the other models available at the time. You know, the patents were labeled high velocity, commercial grade, whatever, heavy duty, industrial. This one right here says industrial heavy duty air circulator. What is it really though? Is it really like what is industrial or heavy duty about that compared to any other fan? It moves a lot of air, but the build quality isn't really industrial. This, having the ball bearings, makes the motor a lot tougher, gives you a much longer potential service life, being able to replace the wear item. This I would actually consider commercial grade. There's something that sets this apart from a basic residential grade fan. I'm very, very disappointed in the range of the speeds though. I was hoping that this would have a really nice slow low speed like the patent U220s. This is not a tame fan on low at all, and there's not a whole lot of difference between any of those speeds, unfortunately, which is really disappointing because you have 4 speeds and they're all pretty much the same. What the heck? Why doesn't it have a good... Anyways, so this is a really cool fan. It's going to need some work. It's going to really need a motor rebuild there with the bearings and some balancing of the blades, but once those things are done and we take some steel wool to the guard and the stand, this is going to be a really nice example of a pretty rare fan.